Hello, hello.
Hello. Did we do our disclaimer? Did we?
Oh, sorry. Yep, we got a
Okay.
disclaimer.
Okay.
And
All
there we
right. Now we can get started. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Thursday. Welcome to another episode of Veganish. I am your host, Dr. Monique. You know me as a physician in the kitchen. I am the board certified family physician who helps busy households enjoy healthy eating without impacting their hectic schedule. And on Veganish, we talk about all things to do with adopting a plant based diet. I share with you my challenges, my successes, and we just have fun and learn and grow together along the way. Mr. Ellis, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm laughing. I see we got a lively audience already.
I love it. I love it. She said, "Ain't nobody reading." Okay. Well, we have to make the lawyers happy.
That's a
So,
soror, by the way. Just
oh, I love.
FYI.
See, that's sometimes them deltas be acting up. But we got something special for you tonight, Sora. I think you're gonna like tonight's show. So that's a perfect lead in. So, but before we get into that, you know how we do around here, right? So we represent. This is a community that we are building, we're growing, and we so appreciate each and every one of you. So we want to know where you're watching us from. We want to know. This is where we rep your city, rep your state, your country, your continent, wherever you are watching us from. Please drop it. If you're watching us on replay, please drop hashtag replay. And because sharing is caring, if you know somebody who you care and love, tell them to come on here, fellowship with us, get some of this information that we are sharing tonight. So where are we? It's July. So we just we had Monday was the holiday. I hope everybody had a good holiday. Got some good food. I had done some grilling, but you know what was on my grill, Alice.
Yeah,
Take a guess.
vegetables. I know it was vegetables. Squash, zucchini, corn, whatever.
Did you see my plate? That's literally what I fixed on my plate, and it was delicious. I made a batch of seitan, which is a wheat meat, and it's chewy. It's got a meat like texture, and I basted it with some barbecue sauce and grilled it up, and it was chef's kiss. It was delicious. So let's see what folks are watching. So we've got Joyce is watching us from Atlanta now and has been in Houston. I love it. She's representing for the dirty South. So, but yes. But before we get into tonight's topic, but first of all, what did you have, Ellis? It's always interesting to hear what you come up with. So let's do point and counterpoint. What did you have?
I did low key. I did barbecue and I did barbecue some meat. I'm sorry, veganish folks. I'm sorry. I did put a little, but it was just chicken, and I did not char it, and I did not put the sugary barbecue sauce on it. It was just completely grilled. Tried to eat it as healthy as possible, and then I did make some burgers, but that was for the kids. That was for because they.
you know, Look, we're and this is not just for you, Ellis. This is for any and everyone who's watching, because we're on here to learn and to grow together. So wherever you are on your vegan-ish journey, we're not here to make you feel bad. My job is infotainment, right? We're here to
Right.
inform but also entertain. And so yes, I am on a plant-based journey, but everybody's not. But the fact that you're watching, hey, that's the point in my book. So, but Ellis, you bring up an excellent point about the grilling that I'm so glad you teed me up for, um because as I mentioned, I grilled, right? And so people would think, well, wait a minute, I thought grilling was bad. Grilling is concerning. It can be harmful when you allow animal proteins to reach high temperatures. There's a couple of chemicals. I think HCA is one of them, heterocycloamine, something like that, and then some other ones that are released from the grease and the fat from the animal. And you don't get that when you grill fruits and vegetables. So grilling fruits and vegetables is okay. Meats, not so much. So I put that plug in there. But let's see, we've got. Oh my God, Barbados. Thank you so much. I was in Barbados last year. I love that island. It was beautiful. I had a great time. Actually, around this time It was May. Last May, I was in Barbados. So
And see, it's funny. I was in Barbados last July, around this time last year.
Barbados
I think it was
is.
June. Yeah, it's
I
fantastic, fantastic.
I love the Caribbean. I just actually just got back from Mexico, which is not, the Caribbean, but and then I was in St. Lucia a few weeks before that. So I'm trying to, get all the stamps on the passport. So thank you all so much. So we're gonna go ahead and kick this off because as I've told you, this is the fastest 30 minutes of my day. My Peloton 30 minutes are like twice as long. So this is my fastest. So tonight we are going to, we've talked before about eating the rainbow, right? I'm really big on, we eat with our eyes first. We smell things, we taste things, but of course, you if somebody serves you something that looks kind of crazy, you're like, I don't know about that. But if something is beautifully plated, it's inviting, you want to get into it, right? So right. With that in mind, we're going to talk about the beautiful colors of fruits and vegetables and how you can eat the rainbow. Okay. And so what we're going to do, we're going to kick off tonight is a series of colorful foods and why they're healthy for you. And so Joy, I mentioned that you might enjoy the first color that we're going to start with. So before we do that though, Ellis, didn't you have this is audience participation. Ellis, don't you have something for the people out there?
I do. Let me tee this out right now.
This is participation. So the first person who can put in the chat what this is from, what movie this song or snippet is from, put it in the chat. Oh, red. Wouldn't be caught dead. And if I'm caught at all, then catch me in dead bread. So yes. This is from The Wiz. Yes. Catch me in dead bed. Yes, so you already know when they came up with that green, right? But yes, it's all in fun. But yes, this is for The Wiz. I love when Ellis suggested this. I said I love it. I have very fond memories. My parents took me to Radio City Music Hall to see The Wiz back in 1970 something when it came out, or whatever year it came out.
1978 is a fun.
I was a little girl. So yes, The Wiz, one of the best movies ever in my opinion. But yes.
Fun fact about The Wiz, it was unprecedented at that time because in 1978 they got $30 million to make that film because you see how many dancers and costumes and lights and all that stuff. So that was an unprecedented amount for a niche film, which was just targeting Black folks. And so
code for Black folks.
Code for Black folks. But yeah, $30 million it took to make that movie, and it's fantastic. And Kay, you real wrong. You said The Wizard of Oz.
I wasn't gonna say.
Give me that black card. Give me that.
Okay, black. See, I have to be the nice person, so I'm gonna let you handle that.
I gotta get it. Temporarily suspended. You could not say The Wizard of Oz. You know it's The Wiz. Come on now.
She was trying. They were trying. But yes, we've got Richmond joining us. I'll actually be in Richmond in August. And then I saw another person chiming in. Buffalo, New York. So welcome. So yes, the color of the day is red. So we're going to talk about red foods. And I think Ellis has a nice little graphic to show. Because just think, if you guys start dropping in the chat some of the red foods. We know we've got the obvious ones, right? Like tomatoes and apples and strawberries and raspberries, but also things like red kidney beans and red lentils, red wine, beets, pink grapefruit, red radishes, right? Red bell pepper, lots and lots and lots of red foods to enjoy. Rhubarb, right? That may not be as widely used, but rhubarb, it goes well, tends to be paired with strawberries when it's used. Red onions, red potatoes with red on the outside. But yeah, so lots and lots and lots of red food, red grapes, of course. So what is it about? What is it about red? I mean, obviously, to certain people, red is a very majestic and regal color. But what is it about red that makes it healthy? And so when you see red foods, they tend to be high in something called, these are all going to be antioxidants and anti-inflammatory agents, but things like lycopene, which we know is an antioxidant that helps actually reduce certain types of cancer, such as prostate and lung cancer. It can also help with your skin, helps to improve skin conditions like acne and psoriasis, things like that. We also have, they also have things like polyphenols, all lots of different types of chemicals, plant chemicals, but at the end of the day, they help the body in different ways. So we're going to kind of go through some of these just to give you some idea, and also then share some ways that you can increase your intake, because I saw a statistic and I said, this is sad, America, we need to do better. But according to the National Cancer Institute, 95% of adults do not include enough red and orange colored vegetables in their diet.
Wow.
That's crazy. 95%. I mean, whatever happened to an apple a day? Whatever. Some people didn't get that memo. But yeah, so I think, this is a great topic. So I want you guys to kind of start chiming in. Name some of your favorite red foods and how you enjoy them. Let's start to share some ideas here. But Ellis, just before we get into it, what's your favorite red food? It's hard for me to choose. So what's your favorite?
I'm probably going to go with, I like red peppers, right? So that two types. I like the red bell pepper variety, which doesn't have a lot of heat in it, and then I also like the red chili pepper, which has a lot of heat in it. So, but both of them are considered red peppers, and so those are my favorite red foods.
And you said, since you mentioned it, I'm going to read to you what specific benefits red bell peppers have. So bell peppers are an excellent choice for to boost your immune system. They contain vitamin A, C, B6, vitamin E, and folate, and then only have 30 calories. And I actually read somewhere that actually peppers actually have as much, if not more, vitamin C than even like citrus.
Oh, wow.
So they're a good source for that. But yes, so red bell pepper, and then we talking about grilling, right? Throw that bell pepper on the grill and caramelize it, and they actually become even sweeter, right? Because they have a naturally sweet taste. You caramelize them on the grill, and they become even, a little bit sweeter. I don't think I mentioned watermelon. I don't know how I could forget watermelon in the middle of July. Watermelon, right? We were talking about it last week, right? We were like, forget the stereotypes. If you want to eat watermelon, eat your watermelon. Eat your watermelon, because watermelon is a great source. It also has that lycopene, what we mentioned earlier, which also can decrease heart disease risk, and it actually decreases the risk for macular degeneration, which is a leading cause, if not the leading cause, of blindness in this country. So very important. And we mentioned several shows ago that watermelon also helps with blood flow throughout the body, particularly by increasing levels of nitric oxide, which can help in with erectile dysfunction. So eat some watermelon and thank me later. But so, and that can also be grilled, right? Watermelon on the grill. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh goodness gracious.
So this question, I'm Southern and Black, so we put that salt. We put a little salt on that watermelon. So do y'all salt your watermelon or not?
I do it too. I do a little bit because it makes it sweeter. And I also salt my other melons like cantaloupe and honeydew.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from. I just know, like, whenever I was growing up, we had a slice of watermelon. You sprinkle a little salt on it, and it just made it taste better.
Well, salt is, again, we talked about the role that salt plays as an enhancer, right? A flavor enhancer. And so and some people like that, that sweet, salty. I think that's why, what is it, kettle corn? I personally think it's disgusting, but I think that's the draw for people who like kettle corn, because they get the sweet and salty, together. So, but yeah, and the other thing too is we did a show about seasonality, and where it's so amazing how foods come into season when your body needs certain things. So, for example, it's summer, it's hot, we're sweating. Watermelon is in season, right? It makes sense. In the wintertime, when some of the citrus fruits are in season, that's because they're helping to boost that immune system, when we're more likely to be exposed to colds and flus and things like that. So it's really, if you pay attention, as my dad says, if you pay attention, you may learn something, So it's really, it's really interesting. And, this is the time of year that, like, for strawberries, if you are, you said you're from the South. I've never done this, but I think picking strawberries is a thing.
It is. There's a big strawberry festival in Central Florida. It's good. The city's going to hit me momentarily, but yeah, it's because that's a big strawberry area in the state of Florida, and they do a big festival and have concerts and all kind of stuff. Plant City, Florida. I got to give a shout out to
Plant City. Okay.
Plant City. I got to give my folks a shout out. But yeah, so a fun Black history fact that, and this is part of the reason why the narrative about watermelon and Black people got created, right? And so during Reconstruction, at the end of slavery, a lot of Black farmers were selling watermelon and started creating wealth for themselves and for their community by selling watermelons. And so, as we know, many folks were unhappy when Black folks started prospering during that time. And so therefore they started kind of taking over those farms and really making it seem like eating watermelon was
a derogatory
thing to get Black folks to stop eating and selling watermelon. And so that is kind of part of the kind of a little Black history fact.
That's interesting. I've never
reclaim the watermelon, Black folks. That's what
yes, reclaim it. But I've never heard that. It's one thing I love about this show, y'all. We give you health, nutrition, and then the little Black history facts sprinkled in there as well. So, but no, I learned something. I had never heard that. But yeah, so June tends to be the best month for strawberries.
Yes.
Again, they contain another plant chemical called flavonoids, which offset inflammation. And again, what have we talked about on the show a million times, if nothing else? Inflammation is the devil.
Yep.
And so you want things that prevent and protect against that, because that is, probably, if not the first step, one of the first steps down the road of cancer, heart disease, diabetes, joint pain, all kinds of maladies that the body can have. So they help with that. They help boost memory. They can contain vitamin K, which is helpful in your blood, plays a role in how your blood clots and stops you from bleeding. So lots of different things there. May actually even improve insulin sensitivity. And I saw that because a cup of strawberries, which is about 8 strawberries or so, has only like 53 calories and like about 1.5 grams or so of protein and 8 grams of sugar. So really, if you're watching your sugar, you want to be mindful of that, but really a great way to get a nice, juicy, delicious, sweet snack. So let's see. I'm waiting for folks to chime in here and tell us what their favorite red foods are and how they make them. Because when you guys call out something, I'm gonna tell you like something specific that we know about that particular food. But like we mentioned red apples and the doctor a day kind of thing, right? But because apples, where's my notes here? Have these beneficial, and that's actually a good fact to kind of look up, is where that came from, an apple a day. I'll have to look that up and report back to the class. But we know that apples are rich in antioxidants and also a great source of fiber. Right, all of these have fiber. Apples have a great source of dietary fiber, and again, fiber is good because it helps keep our intestines regular. Right, it helps push things through. It helps decrease the risk of colon cancer. So also has been shown or thought to be helpful in preventing diabetes and hypertension and heart disease. So probably where that apple a day keeps the doctor away thing kind of came from. So I want to spend the last few minutes as I'm waiting for you all to chime in. I feel like the teacher in Bueller, in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Bueller,
Like tapping on the mic. Is this thing on? Hello?
Because I know y'all gotta have some favorite red food, and no, red velvet cake does not count. We are talking about the red foods that came from the ground, natural red foods. Pomegranates are one that I would really love to know more about. Have you had much experience with pomegranates as far as eating them?
Not eating them. I've had like pomegranate juice, but I have not eaten a pomegranate per se. Maybe I've had it like, one of those fancy restaurants where they'll make like a sauce out of pomegranate or anything like that.
Pomegranate reduction or something.
Pomegranate reduction, but
Yes,
not just eating the fruit itself.
Yeah, it's kind of, it was on, there's a picture of it on that slide you had up. And it's because it's got a lot of like little seeds, I think.
Mhm.
And, speaking of history or a legend, the story, rumor has it is that the apple was really not an apple in the Garden of Eden; it was a pomegranate.
Oh wow! Okay.
So that's some people believe that it really was the pomegranate that started everything. So, but so in the last few minutes, I would love to. We're going to talk a little bit more about kind of how to incorporate some of these, and maybe in different ways into your diet, so that you're doing better than the 95% of Americans that don't get enough red and orange foods. That hurts my heart. I'm really sorry to hear that.
I got a question for you though.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that the strawberry, the seeds are on the outside, right? Because that's all those little things. Those are the seeds.
I think I'm not a botanist, Ellis, so I don't know. I think you may be right. But what's your question?
Well, if the seeds are on the outside, does that qualify it as a fruit? Because I thought fruit, the qualification was the seeds had to be.
Oh, that's a good point.
So we need to find out. We need to find out.
Two things I need to report back to the class about. But that's a really good point. Right, because like bell peppers are technically fruit because squash is technically a fruit. We think of them as vegetables, but they technically are fruits. So that is that doggone Ellis. I got homework. That is a great question. But yes, I would imagine that they because I think it's the difference with a vegetable is that the seed that they don't contain any seeds.
Okay, so here it is. All right, so I just
Did you find it? Okay.
Google.
There you go.
A strawberry is actually a multiple fruit, which consists of many tiny individual fruits embedded in a fleshy receptacle. So those aren't the seeds on the outside. It says the brownish or whitish specks, which are commonly considered the seeds, are the true fruits called achenes, as it's ACHENES, and each of them surrounds a tiny seed. So those individual specks on the side are thank you. Somebody put it there. Big money. Put it in there. So all of those specks on the side are considered like mini fruits because they have seeds inside of them, and the flesh of the red flesh of the strawberry is housing all of it. So it's multiple fruits.
That is craziness. I have never heard that before in my life. Like I was today years old when I heard that.
Yes.
That is crazy. Wow. Wow. Okay. Mind blown. So strawberry.
Yeah, so some people say it's a false fruit, right? It says the fleshy part of the bit we eat is solely made from receptacle tissue. And so like though the fruits are the little specks, but I guess the flesh is a receptacle tissue and not technically fruit. So they call it a false fruit sometimes.
That's very interesting. Well, whether it's a false fruit, a true fruit, one way you could add some more strawberries in your diet. Right, whatever it is, eat it.
Yes.
It is, but yeah, so I love it. You're frozen. You get, and that's a good thing, of course, right? When things are in season, go to your farmer's market, pick them from the festival or wherever you want to get them. But don't forget, you can always get frozen because you can enjoy out of season things, fruits and vegetables longer. So, throw a handful in your smoothie. Fresh strawberry slices and salads, right? That's a
Yeah.
great way to jazz up a salad. People say, oh, salads are boring. I don't know what you put on your salads, but they don't have to be. So add strawberries there. And you can also grill them too, right? Of course,
Yeah.
the smaller ones, you're going to want to put on a little tray so that they don't fall down into your actual grill, but you can certainly grill strawberries as well. And even think, and I encourage people to think, unusual uses, right? Like, for example, hummus is typically made with chickpeas and
Mm-hmm.
tahini, but who's to say you can't make a red bean hummus or a beet hummus? Wait, I don't think we even mentioned beets. Oh my goodness, how could I not?
Those are great for the heart.
Beets, yes. So
Yeah.
you can make a beet hummus. You can puree it and add in your tahini or whatever else you want to put in there. I've seen red pepper hummus. So lots of different ways to repurpose things so that you don't get bored and you're getting in the recommended amounts. So Big Money says, I love raspberries, red bell pepper, beets, red pears, and purple cabbage. So Big Money, you are not in the 95%. So that's a good thing. That sounds like, because if you're eating all that, you are not in the 95%. You're in the lonely 5% club.
Getting your red.
And you're red. And so, yes. So, and you mentioned some things that we're going to get to, because we're going to do other colors as well. Today is just the kickoff with red, but I just want to make sure that I got the highlights that I wanted to share with you all. So, yeah. So, the take home point is red foods have lycopene, which is the antioxidant, which helps prevent disease and protect the body. And you also get your fiber and your vitamin A and C and other things. Oh, canned foods. That's what I wanted to say about tomatoes. Because we've talked about this before as well.
Mhm.
But tomatoes, people say, should I eat canned? Should I eat fresh? The answer is yes, eat both. But canned tomatoes, I have a whole variety of different types of canned tomatoes. It actually increases lycopene levels because the canning process makes the lycopene easier to digest for some people. The trade-off, though, is that you may lose some of the water-soluble vitamins like vitamin C and E. I'm sorry, vitamin C and A. So that's kind of the trade-off there. But we're probably, in the grand scheme of things, that's probably not a big deal. The benefits would outweigh those risks from the trade-off. And you can always get the vitamins C and A and other things. So, yeah. So that is why you should be eating. The color of the day is red. And so we're going to ease on down this road.
I would get a couple of suggestions. You did a great suggestion in terms of some strawberries for a nice summer salad.
Yes.
You can also add some apples, some red apple. You can dice some apples up and add those to a salad. You get some nice crunch.
Crisp, exactly.
Yes.
And don't just look at Red Delicious. Look at other red apples. There are Honey Crisp, Lady Gala apples, Lady or Pink Lady. There's lots of different. So don't just get Red Delicious. Look and try other ones. Some of them are a little more tart. Some of them are sweeter. But yes, they add that crunch to a salad and really
definitely add that crunch. And then just a little lemon juice will help preserve the apple a little bit. So if you you dice it, put a little lemon juice in there, keeps it from browning. That's another kind of a little tip technique. When we get to yellow, just the lemon itself. We're not even on yellow right now.
That's a whole other.
But lemon is just such a special fruit.
It really is. And I have to say, I've been in culinary school. I have really gained such an appreciation where you balance out, when you're making something, it's like, oh, does it need an acid? Or, does it need salt? Does it need an acid? And so, the acids are your lemon juice, your vinegars, and, wines, things like that. But yes, a little, I have to tell y'all this. Speaking of lemons, and then I know we got to go. But a little tip that I tried last night: carrots. And we're not talking about orange yet. We'll get there. But carrots. If you buy a bunch of carrots and the greens that are at the top of the carrots, don't throw those away. You could actually saute those like you do like spinach or any other green. Now they're chewier. They're a little more fibrous, I guess. You want to cook them a little longer, maybe put a little water in there to soften them up. But I finished it off with a little lemon zest and lemon juice, and it was delicious. So Keep
Yeah,
those.
I'm gonna take your word for that. I'm gonna take your word for that.
Oh wait, do you like carrots? If you like, 'cause they taste like carrots. They
Oh, they
taste.
taste like the carrot. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then you just kind of finish it off and you season it with, if you want red pepper flakes or whatever. But anyway, that's a
Yeah,
whole.
yeah. I had some carrots last night. I had a nice. It was a stir fry, but it was a cauliflower rice stir fry.
Oh, nice, nice.
So I got the
Okay.
the rice out of this. See, I'm getting better. So it
You
had
get there,
rice
you
and the cauliflower rice, some carrot, mushrooms, and some broccolini all
Nice.
chopped up, and it was really really nice. And I had the sauce on the side, so I didn't have to have it slathered in the sauce.
There you go. You getting there.
Yeah, I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
Yeah. So if you though, I have some of these recipes, some of these things that we talked about are in my book, Doc Fix My Plate, that you can get your copy at docfixmyplatebook.com. When you grab your copy, please be sure to tag me on Instagram at Physician in the Kitchen. If you make any of the recipes or just find something in that book that changes your life, please let me know. We're gonna get out of here. That 30 minutes is done and dusted, as one of my favorite Peloton instructors says. So we'll see you all next week for the next color. The color of the day is, you'll have to tune in to see.
We'll have to figure it out. Hey, got to come back next week. And we'll
All right.
The next color. Eat the rainbow.
Big Money said use carrot tops and pesto instead of basil. Yes, I love that. I love that idea.
Big Money, you coming with some
big money is coming
today. I'm just trying
money is coming through.
Yeah, goji berries and salad are good. Man,
I see
you eating healthy, Big Money.
Big Money is
Maybe that's why you got big money.
Big money is on the money. I love it.
Because you're not spending money at the doctor's office because you're healthy.
All right, everybody. See you next week.
Talk to him.